These guys from SecDSM who are going to explain to us now why I left a $10,000 computer running for 7 straight days and all it got was one SecKCoin. Let's give SecDSM a hand.
All right, let's start off with the misnomer. Bill said this was hacking SecKoin, and that is not correct. What we did was idiotic and stupid and not financially responsible at all, but it was 100% legitimate. And what you see on my forehead, Trent did this, and the whole DEF CON Parties group was awesome, so let's give them another round of applause. DEF CON Parties was awesome. Every party we went to, there they were. So I'm gonna give this to Tom. Tom was gonna start us off with SecDSM. We make things difficult.
Hello. So I don't know. First introductions, because you guys might not know who we are. This is Ryan here, Ryan Heckman, and Brent Murphy, and I'm Tom Pohl. We came down from Des Moines. We've been coming down here for a little while now, but we heard that you guys were making some crypto coin, and we thought, wow, what a, oh wait, before we get started, everyone do this right now. Yep. So we've got,
I'm sorry. Now for those of you at DEF CON, you went to a talk, you might have noticed that I didn't get to do this at all. So it is my pleasure to say that we have a tradition here at SecKC that is not going to go away. If this is your first time speaking at SecKC, you have to take a shot. So gentlemen, cheers. Here's to our speakers, and here's to you guys, the crowd.
That's Tom Pohl's first shot in like 6 months.
Yeah, I might not have drunk at all at DEF CON this year.
Is that even a word? Drunk?
Drunk? I don't know.
That's it.
All right, so where were we? So before we get started, you want to do this right now. Go follow SecDSM on Twitter, and then tweet I heart SecDSM. And if you're in Slack or you're not in Slack, go sign up for Slack right away. Do it now. Do it now. And then if your Slack handle is different than your Twitter ID, go ahead and make sure you know what that is. We'll talk about that later. It's complicated, but it's not going to be complicated for everybody. Just wait. So do that. Do it now. Go follow SecDSM on Twitter, and then tweet that you love us. Or not. Tweet that you hate us. I don't care. So, by the way, we want to start and say we love SecKC, and we're not sorry, about what we've done, the evil things that we've been doing. So to get, when we started this about a month ago. Actually, it was exactly a month ago. It was the second Tuesday of July. We were sitting here and they're talking a little bit more about SecKoin. We're like, well, what is this thing? Let's figure it out. We have no idea when we started what cryptocurrency is all about. None at all. Like we heard there's like a wallet or something and you do mining or something. We had no idea. But we went to the SecKoin GitHub thing or the wiki thing, and we learned everything that we needed to do. And what we wanted to do is we definitely wanted to mess with SecKoin. All right. Now, how we wanted to do that was we wanted to mine as much coin as we could. So we heard that there's, it wants to give out about 1,337 coin per day total, right? So of everyone that's mining, it's going to give out about 1,337 coin in a day. So that's its target. And we wanted to do better. We wanted to do better than that. So basically we started by CPU mining. Oops. There, is this better?
Yes.
All right. So we started by CPU mining because we didn't know any better. So we turned on, what's that? Oh, you want to talk about that?
All right, so CPU mining. So I had like 10 CloudAcost instances. Who here is a CloudAcost customer, right? Yeah, those guys are awesome. One time for a live feed. So while I'm sitting in this corner, I'm firing up 10 CloudAcost instances to do CPU mining. And I'll tell you, CloudAcost, they kind of suck. They don't mine very much. But when you have 10 of them, it's like 40,000 hashes. This is like equivalent to what a really shitty GPU will do. Really shitty, like a 10-year-old GPU will do. But it was free, so why the hell not? So we did CPU mining. Then I'll hand it off to the guys that progressed to the next step.
All right, so we're going to talk about GPU mining for a second. GPU mining on personal hardware. So literally the day after I get back from the last month's SecKC meeting, I got my GTX 1080 golden, like Founders Edition hardware, and it was freaking B to the A. And Bill has a question.
Did you guys say where you guys were from?
We are from Canada. We're not from Kansas City or Canada. We're from Des Moines, Iowa.
And how often do you guys come to SecKC?
We come here every month. For the last few months, since we knew about it.
It's a long way.
And the funny thing is, the Thursday after this meeting every month is our meeting. So like this is a 2 times a week thing, once a month for us. So this is awesome. We love it down here. We love everybody here, and we love everything this is about. And we're trying to emulate it up north, and we're working on it. It's gonna be us A. Yeah, they're telling me to say A, like we're from Canada. So I get my GTX 1080 in the mail. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna decimate these guys. I'm gonna do some GPU mining. Not the case. The new hardware is based on Pascal architecture, which none of the miners are optimized for. So I actually threw in my old 2-year-old R9 290, which was way better. And I was getting about 900 kilohashes, which was still freaking awesome compared to what the network hash rate at the time was. And then we'll pass it off to Tom here, and he can talk about our next step in domination.
So our next step, so at this point, so when we started, well, I got another slide on this. I put this together on the way down, so I apologize if it doesn't seem polished. We wrote it in the car.
It's a mystery.
It's actually a mystery van. Oh, by the way, we noticed that somebody had a vinyl printer over there for printing stuff for vinyl on cars, and no, it's not going to happen. I know what you guys are planning on doing. You're never going to find that van, all right? Just say it. Just say it's gone.
It's already been towed.
It's been towed. It's back to the airport, whatever. It's just gone. Don't worry about it. All right. So, GPU mining. So, sorry. Mining on AWS. What? That shot is really going to my head. I don't know. Right? And so after we did some mining on local GPUs, we're like, how do we get more, right? Like, I don't want to go mail order these things. Apparently on Amazon Web Services, and I apologize if you keep hearing every like 12 seconds, you'll hear my laptop go ding, 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 ding. We're mining right now actively. And you know how he said that he gets a coin he got 1 coin a week? Right now, we're at about 12 seconds. We're getting a new coin right now. So anyways, just keep listening. It's a really exciting experience. But okay, so we wanted to do more. So we found Amazon has a couple of options for GPU instances. Each one could do, how many was it, 256? Each GPU could, on Amazon, could do 256 kilohashes per second.
And one of the boxes would do.
And one of the boxes had 4 of those cards in it. And so you could do about a mega hash with one of the big boxes, or you can do 4 small boxes to get to that same mega hash. And one thing we learned was that they charge like, I don't know, $2 or $2.25 an hour for that.
Up to $26 an hour.
Up to $26 an hour. However big.
Willing to go to Ireland.
Unless you're going to Ireland, and well, maybe we might have done that. So, but one thing we learned is that Amazon has this thing where if nobody's using GPU miners, you could request what's called a spot instance. So instead of paying $2 an hour for a machine, you can pay 9 cents an hour for a machine, or whatever the.
You can put in a bid.
Yeah, you can put in a bid and say, hey, I'm willing to pay up to X, and every time that the cost gets down to that, it'll spin up however many instances you said you want, for as long as the price stays under your max bid. So, and they have GPU miners in at least, 6 regions around the world. Ireland has a whole bunch that nobody ever uses. Well, it got used for a little while, but we found, even at 9 cents an hour, that can get kind of expensive per mega hash, right? So then after that, we found this thing called Asic Miner. Sorry, one more talk about GPU.
So GPU, like every miner is optimized for some sort of architecture, and so there's CUDA miner that's optimized for CUDA-based video or GPU cards. So obviously, if you're going to use any other of the miners against a GPU card, test it against GPU miner, because if you use one that's optimized for whatever platform you're mining with, you're going to get a better hash rate. And so we tested, I don't know how many, and they're all forks of the same miner that are optimized for different things. So, I mean, test, play around. You're going to get better rates until you're like, oh, okay, I'm happy with this. So we ended up with CUDA Miner mining GPUs.
That's right. And then, yeah, so NVIDIA versus ATI, my understanding, we didn't ever play with any ATI stuff, but we hear ATI video cards, GPU cards, can actually hash faster than the NVIDIA stuff. We only had NVIDIA, AWS only has NVIDIA, so use that as you will. So if you got an ATI. Oh, yeah, so also on spot instances, so one of the things that we wanted to do to automate this is we created our own virtual machine that when it turns on, it automatically kicks on both CPU mining and GPU mining at the same time, and it hashes back to our own wallet server. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a few slides about how we were doing that. But then. Asic mining. So we discovered that, hey, they make these custom boxes that you can plug into a Raspberry Pi or anything else, and you can, and we found this Zeus box that was on Amazon for, I don't know, $265. All right.
So the story about $260 ASIC miner. So this guy will do 28 to 32 mega hashes per second. And it was originally listed for $360. And I was like, so I Amazon messaged this guy, and I was like, hey, I'm just getting into mining. There's this small cryptocurrency that I wanted to get involved with, but this is outside my price range. So can you bring it down a little bit? He goes, absolutely. This is the best miner for entry level. I'll bump it down to $260 for you. Right? So this guy ships it out. Cut deal, right? Like $260. It's a really good deal on this miner. But the shitty part is, he's like, power supply included. I was like, great, this thing sucks up 1,200 watts per hour. 1,200 watt power supply, right? So he ships it to me. But the shitty part is the power supply was clearly not meant for this miner. So I'm out at DEF CON when it arrives. My wife receives it. And I'm like, you gotta plug this shit in for me, right? She has no clue what she's doing. So she sends me a picture, and it's in like 4 parts. There's a power supply, like a chassis, and a top part of the chassis, and then my Raspberry Pi, which I'd already pre-configured for her to hook up. And so she gets it, and the power supply doesn't fit. Like, there are too many cables. So it's clear that this seller stripped out the good power supply, put in one that he got for $50 that just doesn't even fit into the damn thing. And so we just place it on top of it, run the cables right through the vent hole for the power supply, and keep on rocking, right? So I come home after DEF CON, I open up the door to the basement, and I'm like, holy shit, is there a couple fans running down here? I'm like 50 feet away from it, and it's loud as hell. Like, shit you not, it is loud as hell. But that thing rocks.
I'm going to reiterate what I said from the start. Everything that we've done is fiscally irresponsible. It does not equate dollar to dollar from whatever the fuck you're doing to SecKCoin, all right? This is for the lulz. We were just having fun.
Don't buy one of those.
All right, so back to, we're now into this for, 9 cents an hour plus $265 plus,
$500.
I think overall we've spent, well, let's see, we at this point probably about 300, 350, maybe 400 easy on what we've done. And then we bought this, no, that includes this thing, because this is the big component of it. And then we decided, wow, you can buy this shit by the hour online.
And so this guy in the blue shirt sitting over here behind the laptop, that's not his name's Nate. We're sitting here and we're like, oh, you can eBay hash rates? What? And so we're bidding on eBay, and he's like, no. There's this badass site you can go to called miningrigRentals.com, and he's beating the shit out of our eBay hashing, and it was ridiculous.
All right, so now we discover that we can buy this thing by the gigahash per hour.
3 hours.
For 3 hours, right? So we run this thing out. So when we got started a month ago, the entire network hash rate was 300 kilohashes per second, right? Which is the equivalent of just a little bit more than what one small GPU instance on Amazon could do. right? And the difficulty was 0.002. I think like when the network first gets going, it's like 0.0002, and then as more people start hashing, the harder it gets. So we thought, what if? So our attack on the coin is basically this. Step one, we wait for low difficulty. So when we started, the difficulty was really low, like that 0.02 I was talking about. And then basically, we decided, if we look at the network hash rate, we saw, oh, it's 300 kilohashes per second. So we mine the ever-loving shit out of SecKCoin. So we just spin up enough instances to really make that difficulty like 10 or 100, or right now we may be at about
just
a little higher. We'll get a little bit higher, and then what we do is after the difficulty gets, so we jumped immediately from 0.002 to 0.8. Right, and it was like, at that point, we weren't mining, like we mined in one day something like 10,000 SecKCoin, right? 10,000, not 1,000, 10,000 in one day. And then all of a sudden, the difficulty went up to that 0.8. We're like, what the fuck is this difficulty thing? Because we didn't understand difficulty. And we realized, oh, these things stair-step up. So we apparently blew through the entire blockchain, and like from my calculations, correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like it reevaluates the difficulty about every 3,500 coin. So 3,500 coin, it reevaluates and says, well, these guys have been mining really fast, so I'm going to jump the difficulty so that the next set of 3,500 blocks is at this higher rate. And so we decided, well, we will wait. So once the difficulty goes up, we'll shut all our shit down, wait for the difficulty to go back down, and then we'll start mining the ever-loving shit out of it again. So right here, you see in the graph where we started, and we jumped up to that 0.8, and then we mined it. That's that one day between the two red arrows, and then we waited, and then it took like a week and a half before it went from 0.8 back down to that like zero. I think it went back down to like 0.03, and we're like, guys, turn it all back on. Let's go. And we got another like 15,000, and
We're really sorry.
sorry, not sorry. So then we jumped it up again, and you see, so looking at the graph here, I don't know if I can do the laser pointer thing. Yeah, there it goes. So right here was where we were playing with it before, and that's where it went back down, like right there, that's where it went back down, and then we're like, well, let's really crank the difficulty. Ooh, damn it. All right, buttons. So then up here, man, I just don't know how it went to. So then we decided to make things really difficult. And this is when we started outsourcing. So like some of this was like still GPU mining with Amazon. And then we decided to buy, and then the difficulty went exponentially up to 20. So not like point anything, not 1, not 2, but 20. So, and then hilarity ensues. Because I posted in the Slack channel, I'm like, hey, looks like somebody, like it's like 1.5 mega hashes right now. Wasn't it like 300 kilohashes? And Circle's like, 12.81 mega hashes per second. Who turned on some shit? And elsewhere and just like, holy fucking shit. And I'm just like, whoa. And then they're like blaming each other. And then they're like, hey, there's a dude that was inquiring. Maybe he found our shit and he turned on it on. They're just freaking out. And you can't read it in the screenshot there, but yeah, I have a screenshot of what Bill posted, where it's 13 mega hashes is at this point.
0.06 difficulty.
0.06 difficulty. Yeah, this is when it was still relatively easy. Right? So then we made things really hard. And we became hashing addicts. So one of the things that we discovered is that we were doing things independently and mining to our own wallets, and we couldn't see what each other was doing. Like I couldn't tell when this joker spun up, 6 mega hashes, and that one spun up 30 mega hashes, or that guy over there was doing stuff. So we decided we needed to figure out what we're doing as compared to everyone else. So we created what's called a pooler. And in that pooler, we can see like what each other of us is doing. So collectively, we're basically mining our stuff against everybody else in the network. So we can, one of the concerns we had is we're overspending, right? So if they're hashing at 300 kilohashes per second, we probably could just get away with 600 kilohashes per second, or maybe if we want 90% of the coin, we can go to like, a couple mega hashes per second.
And he said we're overspending, but we're also stupid. The air's thinner up north, and it's way colder.
Indeed. So then Supra over here, as we got really became addicted to this, we were like, how far can we go? And that's when we got it all the way up to 5.5 gigahashes. Not kilohashes, not megahashes, but gigahashes, right? So, and I told you where we were, what we got up to, or where we started and where we got up to. Now, with the state of today, like today we got here and we're like, we were at, when we walked in the door, we were at 127 megahashes. So there's another gentleman in the back who, yeah, right, actually he's right here. He's made it difficult. So we were at 127 megahashes. And as of right now,
14 gigahashes.
14 gigahashes. So that's 12 million kilohashes per second. Remember, we started at 300 kilohashes per second. We're now at 12 million megahashes with a M, not a B. Oh yeah, by the way, we made some friends while we were at DEF CON, and actually it's at B-Sides. One guy told me, I've got a petahasher that's sitting idle in Florida right now, so it might start up in a little bit. Anyways, the current difficulty is now sitting at 19.82. 19.82. And so here, after we're done today, we mine the ever-loving shit out of all of the coin. If we turn this off, it's probably going to take about a month before the difficulty gets back down to, so, you know, people with a MacBook Pro that goes away for DEF CON for a week will get any coin.
Now let's talk about that for a second. So you start off at a real easy hashing rate. The penny to one SKC makes a ton of sense. You ramp that up, and obviously the value goes up because you're spending way more money per kilowatt hour, no matter how you're hashing this, to make one SKC. And this was the case with Bitcoin. You get in real early, you make a lot of money, and it drops off. We're not doing this for financial gain. We're not going to screw everybody over till the end of the time. You know, this is for the lulz, and it's all for a good time. So don't be discouraged to go start mining SKC just because of the hash rates you see on the screen. You don't have to. Like I said, it's not fiscally responsible to do what we're doing. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm done now that we've done this. So I've spent hundreds of dollars, and I think we all have a piece. So don't be discouraged. Bill.
Are you gonna open up the miner to everyone, or the pooler to everyone?
We can open up the pooler to whoever wants to mine to the pooler. And the cool thing with that is you get a percentage. Even if you don't discover, you know that block or whatever, you get a percentage based on how much you mine to that pool of the payouts. So that's pretty cool. I discovered nothing for days on end because the guy in the blue shirt over there was mining the ever-loving fuck out of it. But I had mined long enough that I was getting something out of it. So we will post it on SecDSM.org. If you guys want to mine to the pool, that's totally cool. We're totally cool with posting on SecKC. It's all fun. You know, we're just having fun.
Oh yeah, by the way, if anybody has a really good question, your name's not Bill. I have a limited edition SecDSM paper wallet right here with a private key loaded with 500 SecKC coin right here. So that means you could take this wallet right now, walk yourself over to the swag booth, and get yourself some swag. Like, how awesome is that? So when people come out with some good questions here tonight, this is yours. So question right here.
What percentage of the economy do you now control?
Percentage of 60. So the question is how much?
Both hash rate and coin amount.
69%.
So we currently control 69% of SecKC
Out of line 8
through the end of tonight. Yeah. Yeah.
I got first to comment is I fucking quit because you guys did what you did.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. Not
Sorry for
sorry.
that.
I don't know what's going on, but I can't get anything, so I quit.
All right. Well. Here. Okay. So, sir, I apologize. I really apologize. Let me. Right here. Here you go. 501 SecKC coin just for you. All right. Just for you. Only you get 501 SecKC coin. You know what? Fuck it. Everybody look under your seat. There's a paper wallet underneath underneath almost every seat in the house with 501 SecKCoin on it, all right? Pull it out right now. Not every seat, I apologize. We didn't make billions.
25,000.
We had 25,000 that we threw at this, so it's all under your seat. We just taped up a little envelope. There's at least 2 or 3 per table. Like even along the bar side here, you might have a wallet. So here's the thing. You have to use this coin tonight. So right now, or sometime tonight before they close up, you gotta go over and get swag. That's enough swag for a SecKC, a Velcro patch, or whatever it is they're willing to sell you for 500 SecKC coin. We put a 501 on there so it can cover any kind of transaction fees. So you got more than enough that you can go over there and DOS the swag table.
So now the public owns 60% of SecKC controlling shares. Come on, guys. You guys own it. It's all you guys.
So the reason why you have to use this coin tonight, and tonight only, is because we made those paper wallets. We have all the private keys. You have a private key in your hand, but we have the private key too. So if you don't use that coin tonight, we're going to take it back. So I want you all to go over there right now and wipe out the swag from Mr. Swearingen. All right. So make it, and you can combine stuff together. They got, I think for 60,000 points or 6,000 of that, you can get yourself a hoodie. So you 20,000, you get a t-shirt. So start working with your friends, and if they get run out of patches, go together and get a t-shirt. Oh yeah, back to slide. Oh yeah. Slide. I so apologize. So we actually even have more. So we only had time because we did this all before DEF CON. We only had time to make 50, or enough coin at that time to make 50 wallets. So I apologize if you didn't get a paper wallet under your seat. Go look at the seats around you that are empty. They probably have one too. And so we have a bunch more coin to give away. So anybody that's following SecDSM on Twitter and give us your Slack handle, we will go give you 501 coin right now. That you can go now, and then you can we'll give it to you in Slack, and then you can take that over tonight only. So yeah, go.
The question I had was, I never noticed the increase in the network.
Where's his mic?
Here you
On the bottom of that chair, there's a coin.
For the wallet on the chair.
Paper wallet right there.
I hate that fucking stool. The question was, I never really saw an increase on the network. So like on the wallet app, it shows you how many people are on the network. I never saw that go to like a stupid number. It was always like 5, 6, 7. I never saw that increase. So
Peers.
So the question is like, hey, I didn't see a bunch of people connecting in on the network, and this is kind of the secret to our pooler. Like at first they were trying to figure out who was mining the Bitcoin. And so since we hid it all behind one IP address, we were all mining to that guy, and that guy was the one guy talking back to the pool. So you never tracked anything back to us, you just tracked it back to the pool. And we may have done things like, if you find our pooler, because our pooler is out there, and when you're mining, you can see everyone else's, who all the IPs are mining. So I may or may not have found the tip bot. And if other people were looking for ours and you show up without the right name, you might get a website dedicated to Bill Swearingen. Not saying it did, I'm just saying it's possible. So anyway, go research, go find some stuff. But yeah, tweet us now. Oh, question. Any question?
how do you prevent similar attacks?
How do we present? So it's an arms race, right? So anytime that you raise that hash rate up, if everybody stays at the hash rate, it's going to keep going up in difficulty. So our attack is basically we mine till it gets really stupid difficult, and then we turn all of our stuff off. We just got too addicted, and like, how big can we make this high score go? And Bill's like, hey, you guys want to come talk about it? And so we kind of ditched our wait for it to go down. We did that a couple times where we got the hash rate up, and then we waited for it to drop, and then we ramped it back up again. So at this point, after tonight, we're going to turn it off.
So there are some really well-known vulnerabilities within cryptocurrency, like the 51% attack and double spending attacks. So these are attacks against the blockchain itself, in which you don't necessarily have to have a lot of CPU resources. Well, the 51% attack, you absolutely have to have more than 51% of the total mining capacity. But these are attacks in which you can say that you spent some money, wait for it to be confirmed, and then spend that money again. So there are double spending attacks. And every one of you, I will recommend, go look at double spending attacks. Go look at 51% attacks and hack the fuck out of SecKCoin, because that's what we were trying to do. We just didn't have enough time with DEF CON. So absolutely, go look at those blockchain attacks and exploit the fuck out of them, because SecKCoin is primed for those attacks. Not many people are mining it. We're gonna back off tonight. Have at it.
I'm going to thrice say this was fiscally irresponsible.
Oh, yes.
Go back to that last slide where people are trying to freak out and they're like, who turns on some shit? This is what it was about. From our perspective, we threw hundreds of dollars at this for zero gain. We're giving it to you guys. It was for fun, but this is what it was about. And hopefully this is what the spirit of what we do, you know, between groups is about. It's about fun, it's about learning, it's about, you know, from my perspective, I knew nothing about cryptocurrency mining until that night. Brandon is sitting right there, spinning up instances, trying to figure this shit out. And the next day I'm like, well, I got this new card, I'm gonna try it too, and I knew nothing. This guy right here had been mining it for a month and hadn't said shit, so he's a sandbagger. He hadn't said nothing. So I blame everything on him, and I'm gonna give him the mic.
So, are there any other questions? By the way, I also wanted to pimp out SecDSM, because, you know, that's what it's all about. So we thought it'd be really hilarious if SecKCoin was completely controlled by Des Moines. I think we almost got there. I kind of feel like we did. But anyways, so the second Thursday of every month, so just take SecKC, add 2 days, come up to Des Moines, and you can come hang out with us some more.
And notice this polo, right? SecDSM polo. We got a SecDSM limited edition DEF CON shirt, 24 right here. It has a CTF built into it. Come up to SecDSM on Thursday. We'll give you some swag.
I have a question. Yeah. When is the field trip? When is SecKC coming up to DSM?
The question is, when is SecKC coming up to Des Moines? Anybody? Thursday, 2 days from now, on Thursday.
And since the booze is free at SecDSM, you need to let us know ahead of time so we're prepared.
We also have a competition barbecue member on Thursday. He is catering competition barbecue. So all you KC motherfuckers that think that you can barbecue, come up to Des Moines and we'll show you what's up.
Once again, this is Tom Paul. He was the starter of this. He's insane. He was mining. He's a sandbagger. He didn't tell anybody else about it, and then until it was too late.
And by the way, you won't find our vehicle. I know you're looking. You're not going to find it.
No.
I know what your plan is. I figured this shit out fast.
Sorry, we already got it.
Yeah, right. And this is Brandon.